I am Charles Carroll of Carrollton, the wealthiest of the signers and the last to survive. When I took up the Patriot cause, I did so knowing I had more to lose than most. My land, my fortune, my family's name, everything stood in jeopardy. But liberty, once awakened, demands no half measures. As the only Catholic to sign the Declaration, I knew both persecution and principle. I signed it as Charles Carroll of Carrollton to let it be known who I was and that I fully supported this cause. Ambiguity. I risked it all, not for reward, but for a free republic. The question is not what I gave, but what will you?
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world.
Turn the cameras on, we're going live tonight. American pride and patriot fight. The white rabbit has taken flight. Knock, knock, sleepy Neo, this is for real. We're swallowing red pills left and right. Come and overdose with us Tuesday night. They say we're crazy, say we've gone too far, but we're just truth seekers under the dome. Don't be mad at us, Google Chrome. They laugh, they mock, they think we're insane. Please just use your effing brain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you want to complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. They say we're crazy, they say I've gone too far, ready to drown us with feathers and tar. If you're still in our country, we haven't gone far enough. They love to hate us, thinking we've gone insane, but we could care less, they don't know our pain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you want to complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. Yeah. This is who we are, we bleed red, white, and blue. We're never gonna stop Trinity. This ain't no place for sensitivity, not even worried about our credibility. When it's all in flames, don't call me to light the flare. Don't call me to light the flare. Because no one is coming to save us, Jesus Christ. Don't call me to light the flare. But if I say Christ is king, oops, I'm anti-Semitic too. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you want to complain, call detached from deep state machines.
Hey, Jimmy.
Good evening, Miss Ruby. How are you doing?
Doing good. And how is everybody in the chat doing? I can't believe out of all nights, tonight, YouTube gotta act up. When I'm trying to get the stream together, nothing wants to work.
Yeah, no, you contacted me like 20 minutes before 9, and I was like, I don't know. I'm just logging in to check it out. Next thing I know, my YouTube's not loading up on my computer. It's kind of weird. You can click on somebody's name and go to and you can find it. But then Enoch put out a post saying that there was like Google was down. What else? What other ones was he talking about? There were several that he said were down.
Really?
Yeah, there's a huge outage. Dang it! Are we already having issues tonight? Guys, this might be a long night.
We're gonna have a lot of issues tonight, okay? This stream is gonna look as bad as my hair, okay? It's gonna be horrible. It's like bad juju from the beginning. So let me know if you guys can hear us, see us, if it's glitching. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's gonna be bad. Hopefully it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be bad.
Well, 52 minutes ago, Enoch put out YouTube, Google, AWS, and Cloudflare hit with massive outage. So if you go to Down Detector on your device, you'll be able to see all the systems that are down right now. So
Okay, good.
You know, us conspiracy theorists always love it when this crap happens, because we're like, yeah, something's going on. They don't want us knowing.
So what happens when there's an outage? What happens, Jimmy?
You never know what's going on behind the scenes and why they do this. So
it's the Russians again.
No, it ain't the Russians. I mean, they're testing. I think they're testing certain things too. So there's that. That's why I said before, if there's outages in a certain city or whatever, don't freak out. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew. They can hear us. No glitches. All right, that's good. So yeah. Anyway, so that's enough about the glitch for right now.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. You guys need to be subscribed and put the notifications on my channel, Ruby Quinn, and for on Jimmy's channel. Oh my God, I can't even talk tonight. Even my mouth is glitching. And on Jimmy's channel, because you will get notified that our live will be live, even if the homepage doesn't work. So I put the link on our Facebook page too, just in case if anybody loses the stream for any reason, to click back in, always have the notifications on.
Yeah, it's really weird because when you were talking, you were glitching a little bit on mine from what I see. I don't know what the folks are seeing in the chat, but yeah,
you're glitching for me too. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, but wow. It's not that bad. Like the sound comes through, but if you move around, it's like you know, like you look like a little robot.
Wow. So we got glitches. You've been crazy busy. I've been chasing the same 45. I told Ruby this earlier, guys.
Yeah.
I've been chasing the same 45 minutes all day today. I've been behind 40, and it's like it's a wonder we're able to do the show tonight. Let's just say that. Okay. So we've got some things planned, but it's not like it was last week where we had everything lined out, ready to go, organized. And I did a lot of talking last week, so I'm gonna try not to do so much talking tonight.
Yeah, sorry guys. Same thing with this week. It's like I don't even know if there was anything like major that caught my attention enough to like dedicate time, you know, that I wanted to like talk a lot. So the link is in the chat if anybody wants to join. I put open discussion just to have like an open panel. So if anybody wants to come on here and knows of something that happened or has knowledge of anything, wants to talk, wants to share anything political, as long as it's on topic, definitely join the stage and hang out with us.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, let's talk about what we've noticed this week. And this is what I've noticed with the coverage of everything. This is the third damn week that we're hearing about the Savannah Guthrie thing and Nancy Guthrie.
That's what it is.
Third week.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They've given more coverage to this situation than they did 9/11.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I don't think 9/11. Yeah, that's just how I feel. I feel like, yeah, I feel like they've given this more attention because 9/11, you know, they did that for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. But that was a huge thing. That could have gone 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, of course, we still talk about it today. But this incident with this lady, yeah, there's some. Oh, and then did you hear? Okay, we're just going to have straight up no script, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Did you hear that at the house of Nancy Guthrie? I don't know, maybe it was like Thursday or Friday. They had a pizza man deliver a pizza to that house.
I did not hear that. No.
Yeah. So when I first heard it, I was like, a pizza man at the Savannah Guthrie or at Nancy Guthrie's house.
And then she gets killed.
Yeah. But knowing what we have found out in the Epstein files about what pizza is.
Right. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, but yes, I know what it means. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? So apparently the story was there was a journalist there on site doing the reporting, and they ordered a pizza to come be delivered to them, but the guy went straight to the door of the house instead of looking for the reporters. I don't know. That's what I've heard. So, but just kind of weird that pizza was mentioned on top of all these Epstein file stuff. So thank you, JG.
Well,
appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel sorry for that family as well, but just because she was a host of some TV show in America doesn't mean we need 3 weeks of coverage because her mom got kidnapped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe one weekend of a headline because she's famous or wealthy or whatever. But now it's like, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on in my own country except Nancy. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows her name now. And I don't even know what else is going on unless I look and I dig for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to dig for stuff. I want the real news to be on the top. Like it's 2026. Why is it not easy to just have news readily available?
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna read this tweet or this X post by somebody called Byle Holt, BYL Holt. I don't know who this is, but anyway, this is what this person posted. Fun fact: we never needed to know Nancy Guthrie was missing. Savannah Guthrie is a nobody. Nothing she ever does would ever merit 15 days of nonstop news coverage. Yet we're now at exactly that for her missing mom. Here's the thing. It's not news when it's endless hours of experts speculating. It's not news when talking heads repeat, we really don't know anything yet for 2 straight weeks. And most importantly, it's not a kidnapping when the abductor doesn't try to cash in. No ransom demand, no proof of life, no contact. No kidnapper holds a hostage for 15 days without making a move unless they can't give her back alive.
Right.
We all hope Nancy comes home safely, but wherever she is, no one is trying to bring her back. No one wants money for her return. This stopped being a kidnapping case long ago, if it ever was one. I hate to say it, but get out the cadaver dogs and ground penetrating radar if you want this resolved quickly. The truth is staring everyone in the face. The media just refuses to look. That was this person's post and this person's opinion. So,
And I agree 100%. It's news when it happened. You know, like they can't find her, she's missing. But if you don't have any new information, you're just talking about it. You're just speculating, like exactly
right.
what she said. And that's when it starts becoming entertainment. They are distracting you, keeping you glued to the TV as if this is like a CSI show. Like, what? Now, I want to know when something does happen. Like, if you find new information, yes, please tell me because I'm interested. Like, I'm already interested that this old lady is missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Now it's
Like I
just
said-
wasting people's time.
Yeah, like I said, I feel bad for the family and I hate the situation, but the level that they've gone to cover this, considering the fact that we have missing people in America every day. Literally, I mean, hell, there was 300,000 missing kids
I was
during
just
the
about to say that.
Biden residency.
Yeah.
But there was no coverage about that, was there?
And that Trump found, I think, 300 or 600K. I don't know if it was 300,000 or 600,000 missing children.
Out of okay, I don't know what number you're referencing. From what I understand, out of the 300,000, they have found a little over 100,000 of them so far.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. Because I was like, when under the Trump administration, when those kids were found, that should have made 3 weeks news of how they found them, where they found them, what were the techniques used, you know, who worked with who, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about finding people and the great work that you guys do. But we don't hear about that at all.
Yeah, I think this situation, okay, so let's speculate. Let's just be a conspiracy theorist here. What if we're being shown all this for 2 to 3 straight weeks? So people will start digging on the connections the Guthrie family has to the Clintons and others deep state players. You know, why was Savannah Guthrie mentioned? Her name was mentioned in a Q post where it talked about that she was one of the ones that pushed the Russia collusion hoax. Then you have her husband who worked for the Clintons, and he was a scrubber. And what that is this person goes out and scrubs the internet with stuff that implicates the Clintons in bad dealings or whatever. They just clean everything up. So, and then you got the pizza guy show up. I mean, it's
just
there's something going on there. There's something going on there. But
yeah.
But since we've gotten no real news from the lamestream media this past week, we do have the news blast, which we could go into if you want to do that here in a second.
Yes.
One other thing I want to mention, and we're going to talk more about Epstein, I'm sure. But talking about the media and what they're doing right now, we all know that if they just air something like they're doing, it's all propaganda. It's a psyop. So, but what other thing do they do? Well, I did some research last night, and in December of 24 and January of 25, the media all over the place was like, release the Epstein files. Where's this? Why isn't this coming out? They did wall-to-wall coverage of wanting the Epstein files released. All right. Then you had people out there doing their little protests, release the Epstein files, da 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 da. Now that that's been done, the media hasn't said shit about it that I know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to me how they were calling for it, and that's all you heard. And then when it finally comes out, they're not talking about it. Why?
Right. Or the recent connection. Did you see that TikTok where this one girl is like, she figured out who the man was in that painting with the Snow White, and now that's like Snow White Gate. Everybody was like, well, who's that guy? And she found out that he was actually the one that worked at JP Morgan or Chase. He was like the CEO of one of the two or both of them. I can't remember. And they got the exact same photo of him in that painting. And that started making that made me think that this was the whole like blackmailing operation.
Mhm.
And I also got this really scary thought, is that what if nothing ever happened and they just made it look like like they implicated those people with minors just to blackmail them? Because there's not any real concrete proof. We just have insinuations. We have code words and things like that. But we really don't have concrete information, do we? Like have
So
you actually seen?
Are you saying that just to track where you're tracking? Are you saying that we have no verification of like torture and abuse and all that? Is that what you're
But
leaning to?
yes and no, because one of my theories was, if Epstein had the reputation that he did and
Mhm.
allowed these people to be in his circle, he could have just been using just that to get them under his thumb
Glitching.
and get those. Am I glitching?
You were
Okay, am I
glitching.
back?
It seems to be
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Try it again. Try it again. Sorry.
Okay, no, I'm saying, like, what if he just used those like words, those emails, those pictures just to blackmail them? And what if they didn't do anything? Like that just popped into my head.
All right.
When
So
I
the only problem I have with that theory
Mhm.
is there's too much evidence showing the torture and everything else. There's the pictures. There's the emails that they talked about it. I mean, I saw a picture last night. Well, let's just say it was horrible. Okay, it was horrible. It's something you don't want to ever see a pubescent young girl going through. Okay, with 3 adult men around her. So, yeah, I believe, yes, shit happened. It's not, oh, we just got this, we're just making this up, and yes, stuff happened. So horrible stuff. Now, I can say that there's going to be a lot of people that may feel that way without looking into stuff because they don't want it to be true.
That's true. Yeah, and we talked about that last week, so I'm glad we did, because that is true. But you know, I mean, I do believe it. I believe things did happen. I'm like, yeah, let's get rid of all of them. They shouldn't even be breathing anymore. But at the same time, I'm like, the power, the control, like just his name. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can control people, and that type of power is dangerous. Like, why did nobody put him down a long time ago?
Yeah.
Until now. Like, he was a registered sex offender long time ago, right? Like, that was a whole
2009.
Yeah. So what happened in 2009 that allowed him to be free? That's confusing.
Barack Obama became president.
Oh, thank you. Because I was yo, this is crazy. You see, this is why we gotta talk about it. This is exactly why, because people can forget, just like what I did right now. Easily forget the time period and the context and everything, because I'm like, what the heck? He was already registered. Like, what?
Yeah. So,
oh my god, that makes it so scary to me, especially with those emails with Hillary Clinton about telling Obama, like, why are we doing this in the White House? We should be more careful and stuff. And I'm like, what you mean not do this in the White? What did you guys do in the White House? What is she talking about?
You don't know what she's talking about?
Not that much, because in the email, it was a hot dog reference, and I know that's like the pizza reference. But what does she mean?
Do you know what the hot dog stands for?
Put in the private chat for me, because I don't want to.
Wait, hold on. Hot dog reference from FBI. Let's see if it'll pull up for me.
And where would they be doing this in the White House? There's like a million people everywhere. What, a private party, or was it underground, or in the tunnels,
well, Have you ever wondered why Trump is taking down part of the White House right now and rebuilding it?
And I showed you that theory on X. I mean, people have been speculating about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that oh my God, that makes me sick. Like, what was he doing? What were they arranging in the White House? That makes me think.
Let's see, hot dog. What's the code word for hot dog? I see. I have it on my phone, but according to I think it has something to do with little boys.
Yeah, right. Because it's the opposite of pizza. So I'm like, oh my! Once I found that out, I couldn't read anymore. I didn't want to know about it anymore. But it was just what those emails between Hillary and everybody. It's just like, why are they still breathing? Why are they still walking? Like, there had to be somebody there. Where? Well, I guess I just answered my own question in my head because I'm like, well, if they whistleblow, the Clintons are known for killing people. Everybody that they've ever known, they just committed suicide all of a sudden.
Yeah, I do believe, unfortunately, that there was stuff going on at the White House. And I know folks probably don't remember, but I think it was like 21, spring of 21, or maybe January, February, right when Biden took office. There was a lot of activity at the White House at night. You've seen buses, you've seen ambulances, you've seen police cars. I saw the videos. And I pulled them up. I pulled them up on the White House live cam, and there was a lot of activity going on around the White House. And it was also, you remember when Biden took office and they put the barricade around the White House and the Capitol?
Yes.
Okay. That's when all that was taking place. You had ambulances and prison buses and tour buses going into the White House right up underneath it, and they were pulling stuff out of there. Now, some people will say, "Oh, well, it's only because Trump was moving out of the White House." You don't need ambulances, police officers, buses. You need moving vans. There were no freaking moving vans there. So yes, one night at the White House. Yes, KD. Yes, I saw that. One night at the White House, there were little kids leaving the White House. I saw that.
Wow.
Yep.
And what do you think that was?
I believe it was the military rescuing those kids out of the White House. And from in the ground, they have levels that go down in the ground. So they were possibly doing some stuff there. Yeah.
Wow. Do you think we'll ever find out? Like if they're
I think I've talked with Carissa about this last night, because after I told her the story of the picture that I saw, I told her this is why we were told as digital soldiers, anons, whatever the hell you want to call us, that the public will never see 100% of everything.
Right.
It's not going to happen because people will not be able to handle it. They will probably see about 30 to 35% of the stuff, but that number will be enough to wake the people up.
Right. Yeah, I believe that.
Because I mean, once you start hearing the stories of Epstein and all the other, Peter Nygaard, Jean-Luc Brunel, all them guys, once you go down those rabbit holes and you start seeing what they did, it comes to a point to where you're like, okay, I don't need to know anymore. I know what they did. I don't need to know anymore.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah.
So because I don't want to see. I mean, do you know? Yeah, we are so winging it tonight. This is cool. Do you know that they had a dentist chair on Epstein Island?
No.
Do you know that the girlfriend that he had, I can't remember her name, but she was a dentist?
Okay.
From what I'm understanding, somebody please fact check me right now if you can, so my trolls don't attack me like they love to do. Whatever. But what they were allegedly doing was removing the teeth of the kids and the women so that they could not bite them when they were being tortured and abused.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
And his girlfriend was doing this?
Well, she was a dentist, so I can't say that she was the one pulling them out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that. But it's
Okay.
just weird. It's just weird. Okay. It's just weird coincidence. And plus you can't, if the bodies are found and you can't identify somebody without their teeth.
I was just about to say that. Yo, it's like you take it right out of my head sometimes. It's like we're on the same page because I was just about to say that. I was gonna say, or they take it out because they know that they're gonna pass away and they need to get rid of the body. And did you see that compartment that they lifted it up and it was the ocean right under?
Yeah.
So they just be dumping it right in the ocean and the sharks just take it and no evidence, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then he was buying acid or something. And people are like, oh yeah, he's just disintegrating bodies. Like, I mean, it's just too easy for people like him. You know what I'm saying? He's a billionaire, you know, like this is, and you know what? Okay. Hold on. This is what gets me, right? Because we're finding out about this now, right? Whether you want to believe it or not. But this is how rich they are, that they can get away with this. They can get the materials and the supplies to do whatever they want. And how we talked about the 2-tier justice system.
Mm-hmm.
If any one of us did that, we would go in front of a jury and we'll be convicted of murder, basically, right? We will be in jail 48 hours or less. They would find the killer. They will be like, you did it, you're going to jail.
Right.
But who does that to them? To that class? It's like they never get convicted. They never go on trial. They just commit suicide. They just die. Like, that's not justice. No.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, that they never face justice or whatever, but it's coming to a point now to where, like I said, I believe a lot of it's already been done. I think a lot of them have already been held accountable. So it's hard for me to go back to thinking that nothing can ever be done because, Maxwell, she's in prison. Epstein, yeah, he did get arrested.
Is she? Did you see that picture of her when she was pleading the fifth and she had a completely different face? They did
I posted that because that was not Ghislaine Maxwell.
Right? So I mean, help me here. It's like first you believe on one hand that they have gotten justice, but on the other hand, we see doubles, body doubles, and you believe in that as well. And I do too.
Right.
So it's like, how do you put how do you believe in both of them and still believe that justice has been done? I don't know.
As far as like, hold on, repeat that question again.
Okay, let me see how I can simplify it because it's very hard. Like, first, we both agree that there's body doubles. This is a stage.
Yeah.
That they're probably getting justice behind closed doors, or they're already dead, or they're alive.
Right.
But then when you say that she's in jail, she's this, she's that. When we saw the most recent outing of her, it was a completely different person. That's not her.
I guess the only way I can explain it is because I believe there's 2 timelines here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I believe there's the timeline that the public sees, and then there's a timeline that the public doesn't see yet, that the military operation going on behind the scenes. And I believe at a point they're going to match up and we're going to be on the same timeline. So when I talk about stuff like Ghislaine Maxwell, she came and pled the fifth, or a better example, Hillary Clinton over in Europe this week talking shit, saying stuff. Okay.
Yes.
But that's on one timeline. But on the other timeline, we don't believe that she's still here. She's gone.
Okay, so you think her double is doing this on her
I do.
on her behalf?
I do.
So why keep up the show? Why not just tell us what had happened when it happened?
Well, you can't do it when, okay, so they gave a really, let's see, do I have a video on that? Hold on. Let me just check and see here. Let's see, is this good? Hang on a second. Bear with me.
Yeah, because I mean, there's been a lot of other people that have suspicious deaths, like Kobe Bryant, and then there was a prediction of him dying the way he died, and then that's how he died. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just too much of a coincidence. In my opinion, I do believe he was taken out. That he was probably into some stuff, and they took him out. Like you see, I could believe that. But if I see Hillary right in front of my face, and then we all can also say, nah, Hillary, she was dealt with. She got what she deserved. It's like, but I just saw her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's still around. Her character.
You can go back. You can go back to when Ronald Reagan was president, and they had the head of the CIA go in there, and this lady, I do believe it was a lady that did it, and she was in a mask.
Yeah.
And Reagan did, and he was right there with her.
Right.
And he did not know that it was her.
I think I saw that clip, yes. And she took it off, right? Like right in front of them, she took it off. And yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah, that's like a Mission Impossible movie.
I mean, that's how good these masks are. It's crazy how good they are. Let me share my screen. Let me see what I got here. I've saved so many, but guys, y'all need to forgive me because I really didn't have time to. It's been a crazy week. Let's share this. Let's go with this. It's 3 minutes. Let's see what it says, and we'll just talk about it.
Why no arrests? Part 2. If you don't know about this, you need to read it. Blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption. Signed by President Trump in December, on the solstice, actually in 2017. I therefore determine that serious human rights abuse and corruption around the world constitute an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States. Declare a national emergency to deal with that threat. All property and interest in property that are in the United States and hereafter come within the United States. Persons are blocked and may not be transferred, paid, exported, withdrawn. Okay, let me explain. This actually is a boomerang on something that Obama set up, the Global Magnitsky Corruption and Human Rights Sanctions. I think they were probably, not sure about this, but I think they were probably going to try to use this on us. So it's a boomerang. It's based on invoking a national emergency, invoking the IEEPA, which is the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. I'm going to explain. We're using the deep state stuff against them, right? This goes back to 1977, empowers the U.S. president to regulate or prohibit foreign commerce and financial transactions during declared national emergencies, okay? So here's what's interesting about it. Recent applications in early 2025, President Trump invoked IEEPA to impose tariffs on imports from China, Canada. So this is what he's using to do all these tariffs against all these countries. So does Executive Order 13818 use IEEPA? Yes, it does. Is this like sanctions against people and organizations instead of against countries? Exactly. You've hit on the key distinction for modern U.S. foreign policy. These are like sanctions against the countries, but it's for people and organizations. Who's hit? Specific individuals, companies, organizations. Asset freezes are for a corrupt official or a human rights abusing paramilitary group. Okay? So how EO 13818 specifically works, global reach, doesn't care where the person's from. Anything that is involved with serious human rights abuse, including trafficking or corruption. Entity stacking. If a person is sanctioned, the businesses they own or control are often automatically blocked as well. and visa bans. Beyond freezing money, it also typically includes a ban on the individual entering the United States. It's a way for the U.S. to use its financial power as a financial death sentence. And you might say to yourself, well, probably Biden got rid of that, right? Continuous renewal. The national emergency declared in EO 13818, which again was December 2017, has been renewed annually by subsequent administrations, most recently in December 2024. Continuation of the national emergency. There it is. December 2024. There it is. So for everyone saying, statute of limitations, blah, blah, blah. Nope, it's all still happening. Stay tuned for part 3.
All right. So my take on that, to talk about why, aren't we seeing anything? They're still under the operation of collecting all this stuff, these assets, and freezing these people out. And, I'll say allegedly rounding them up and taking them to not just Gitmo, but to other places. There's more than just one place that these people are being held. So there's also prison deep ocean water prison barges. They have those out there too. And they can't go nowhere. Yeah. So that exists. You're on mute.
Now? Oh no, hold on. Okay, you can hear me now, right?
I can hear you now, but I don't see you.
Okay, hold on. What happened? What is going on? Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of us, Ruby, that believe that, this stuff is coming out. More stuff will be coming out. No, now she's completely gone.
Okay, I'm back. There we go.
Basically, I think we're in a cleanup operation right now. And the military is ahead of the public, and the military is allowing stuff to start coming out because you need the public. You got to win over the public. And one way to do it, to hold these people accountable, and we're already seeing it all over X, all over TikTok, people are demanding arrests.
Right.
People want to see arrests.
Mm-hmm.
So when the time comes for that stuff to be that part of the movie to be revealed, that, hey, this person's been arrested, that person's been arrested, blah, 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 blah. It's still going to be all for show. But the people will be fine with, okay,
Right.
yeah, that's what we've been wanting.
Right. So so when I was muted, what I was saying was, to repeat what you said deep water, what?
Deep ocean water prison barges. Meaning that there's prison barges out in the middle of the ocean.
That reminds me of a movie. There was a movie like this where I forgot who it was. It was like a superhero or something. That the waters just open like that, and then he goes all the way down. It was like a Batman or something. I don't know what. All right, chat, you're gonna have to help me. What movie was that? When I figure it out, I'm gonna let you guys know, because there was a movie like that he goes into that type of prison and he's talking to somebody like between a glass or something. Oh my gosh. All right, when I figure it out, I'll let you know. But I thought that was, it's fake. It's in a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what?
Yeah, see, this is literally why I'm not freaking out about anything. And
yeah,
I know that I've been watching TikTok and X this past week, and the people that weren't paying attention 4 years ago and they're finally being hit with it now, they're having the same reaction about stuff that a lot of us had, for myself in 2020. Some a little longer, they're finally catching up to what is going on and what we've been talking about. And
okay, right. Quick question. So when that video was explaining that Joe Biden did the continuation of that policy, so you don't think that was really Biden? So
no.
So this
military,
was doing this on behalf of Biden.
That part, yes. See,
what about
there was
Okay.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so there was a game there. It's really hard. You really got to put on your tinfoil hat and your conspiracy minds for this.
It's on. Let's go.
Okay, because yes, the military was controlling what was going on in the Biden residency. However, they were allowing the deep state players who thought they were in control of the Biden presidency to do the things that they were going to do. Like, let them go ahead and use the auto pin. Let them go ahead and show themselves by leaving the border wide open. Let them go ahead. Why interfere with the enemy when they're in the process of destroying themselves? So,
but when it really mattered, they used the double to do their bidding. Is that correct? Would that be fair?
Both camps were using the double for their bidding.
Okay. And Trump knows this, right? Like Trump knows that this is going on, that it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
And he just had to let it happen. I mean, he lost that election, right? I mean,
well, see, technically, and I know my trolls are going to have fun with this video.
I want to know right now, you better leave Jimmy alone. Care if you like him or you don't like him, leave my man alone.
Oh, I just lost my train of thought. So yes, technically we had no president. All right. Trump wasn't president. Biden, the military was in control. Basically, from what I believe, from what we understand, is the military took control during Trump's first term. And Trump is being used. He's being used as a puppet by the military to do what needs to be done. And they chose Trump because he's charismatic and he could pull it off.
So you think that they're controlling Trump as well? That they're telling him what to do?
Yeah. That's why there's some things he can say and some things he can't say. Some things he will do, some things he won't do. So I do because we're not operating under the republic. We're operating under a military occupation.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like go back to the early years of the United States. We had the military running everything, and then we had a president. The military decided, the military said, hey, we need to give the power to the people for the civilian government. And then so the military gave that power over to the government, and we had a president.
Okay, it's making sense for me now. It really is, because I remember when I was like really upset that Trump was like signing all of these pro-Israel things, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, I felt like he abandoned America first and things like that. And it kind of makes sense in that perspective, because if it's the military behind him, of course they're not gonna want to take off Israel just yet. I mean, they're still using them too, and everybody else that are so-called allies. So it kind of makes sense to me that he wouldn't do it yet. But I think it will happen, but just not yet.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I'm walking with you. I'm tracking. I'm there.
So this is why when you hear Trump say, hey, Trump 2028 or Trump 2032. Okay, for those who have, dang on it, I got my foot stuck. For those who may not have heard this before, there is a path for Trump to continue to be president. And that path,
I want to know about that path, please, because I'm confused. Yeah.
So, this is allegedly. We don't know. This is what I believe is going on. So take it for what it's worth. So if the United States corporation went bankrupt and defunct back in 2020, all right, 2017, the military stands behind Trump during the inauguration. Was the military taking control then? If that's the case, Trump wouldn't technically be president. He would be the commander in chief, but he wouldn't be president of the corporation. Okay.
Okay. That's
So,
2017.
That's 2017 to 2021. So we don't have those 4 years. We don't have a president of the republic. During the Biden residency, we have the military still gaining control, and we don't have a president of the republic. The corporation was dying. So,
But he did win that election. So technically,
technically he did win the election. You know, that doesn't even matter right now, because it would have still been like in 2017 where everybody thought he was president. You know, he would have still been, if he would have won, he would have been president, but not the republic, because we were getting rid of the corporation. So,
but I do think 2017 was legit though. Like he really was the president because he won. Like a landslide, you know, like the whole country was.
Yeah, I mean, he won, but secretly behind the scenes, the military took that power over, and he was being used by the military to do his first term. So let's just say that we did not have a president of the republic, because the republic wasn't reestablished yet, because the corporation was still running everything. So
okay, so 2017, but then when Biden comes, you still hold the position that they were still in control. So they were in control for
the military's been in control for a while.
A long time. That's a really long time. And then Trump becomes president now again. And do you believe he's the real president now?
That's the tricky part for me, because that's the tricky part for me, to be honest with you guys, because I'm not sure exactly when, because they talked about that there was a second Declaration of Independence that was signed back in 2020, July of 2020. I think that's when it was, that there was a second Declaration of Independence signed.
I have not heard this one before.
All right, so let me write that down. We'll talk about that
next
week.
Yes, please write that down. I'm interested.
So I'm not exactly sure when the republic technically took, because remember, we're on two timelines.
Yeah, right.
Two timelines. So I'm not sure when that happened. I can look it up, do some research, see what I can find.
But why would they sign a new one if we just want to resurrect the old one? Like we just want to enforce the old one?
Because they were probably putting new parameters in it to secure the first one. You know, to basically say, you can't question this first one because of what we're now saying. See what I'm saying?
But why? Because there's nothing wrong with the original. There's nothing wrong with the amendment.
I know that, but people still want to mess up stuff. People, sometimes you gotta draw a picture for people. So, you know, I mean, it says that our Second Amendment shall not be infringed, but these people keep trying to infringe it.
But that's not an issue. That's not their issue. That's a state's issue. So the states need to fall in line with the federal government, with the Constitution.
But if your state has been taken over by the deep state and being controlled by the criminal syndicate, they're not going to play ball with the federal government.
Well, there are laws already in place to fix that. That's what I'm saying. Is like we should just be enforcing what we already have.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But you got to secure it. It's like when Trump put something out there and they want to codify it. Have you heard that expression before?
Yes.
They want to codify it so it can't be changed ever again.
Right. No, so right. I agree.
So maybe we can look at it this way. If I'm talking because I don't know for sure, guys, but if that second Declaration of Independence was signed, maybe we can look at it as codifying what we wanted to do along with the first Declaration of Independence, because it would be us, the Republic, declaring our independence from the corporation that was backed by Britain and the Vatican. We're declaring our independence away from them, and we're going back to being a republic. Does that make more sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, quick question. That was in 1776. When were we bought and sold by that whole syndicate as a
18
corporation?
allegedly 1871.
Okay. So that's what needs to be undone. The
Exactly.
1871 situation. We
Yeah,
can
and so
keep the 1776. There's nothing wrong with the 1776.
right. So maybe the second Declaration of Independence, allegedly for the trolls. I'm not saying it's just
Yes, yes,
allegedly.
yes. We're just
So
speculating.
yeah, yeah. So maybe that Declaration of Independence is a Declaration of Independence from the 1871 takeover.
Okay, that kind of makes more sense because I'm like, hold up a second, not the 1776, the
You know,
18 whatever.
it's
That one
it's
needs to be deleted.
it's kind of cool when you do have conversations like this where you're just spitballing things back and forth,
Yeah,
because me and John do it all the time. And after a while, one of us says something or both of us, and we're like, oh, there it is. That makes
yeah,
sense. So there's nothing wrong with like having that banter. And
yeah,
it would be great to have that type of banter with other folks that may not believe some of the things. We're willing to do that, but some people get their ego up in their ego in the
yes,
way, and they can't
yeah,
have that type of conversation. So,
yes.
what's the chat saying?
Yeah, I like Jane. Let's see, Jane here. She says, Second Declaration of Independence, liberty over oppression, that all human beings are equal in their innate value, that America was founded under God, our God given rights may not be revoked, suspended, negated. But I mean, that's exactly what the 1776 is all about. So that's what I'm like, I'm confused. We should just keep what we got.
Let me see. Let me see that I have a second declaration. Let's see if Google will pull anything. Ooh, let's see if it pulls.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, no, they got nothing. No. Okay.
Well, Jane says she saw it. Jane says she saw that 2020, that it
Yeah,
was updated.
I saw it written out. I had it saved somewhere. I think I had it saved somewhere on my Facebook. But then, of course,
Oh,
well, but
yeah.
I did see it. I did read it. So good. I'm glad Jane backed me up on that and said she saw it too. So
Let me see. Somebody says something really cool here. Steen says, Jimmy, it sounds like a good movie for Nicolas Cage, National Treasure 3. And I used to be obsessed with those movies as a kid. So that's like that's like a green flag as a kid, that when you become an adult, you're like, I should have known that I was gonna be like a conspiracy theorist, because I was so sucked in to National Treasure, to Journey to the Center of the Earth, to like all these like sci-fi type movies about the government and secrets and all this stuff. I love it.
well, it's kind of funny you say that, because for me, the interest in all the government stuff happened in like 1989 and 1990. I mean, my senior year of high school in 91, I was in my government class. And I
Yeah.
just found over in my closet over there, I have a
Mhm.
tote that has all my old high school stuff. I have
That's
my
cool.
government I have my government notebook in there with all my notes. So I
You're
was
gonna
really
have to bring
into it.
that out one night.
Yeah, it's over there. It's very interesting. I showed John one, and he's like, "Good God, Jimmy, you kept up with this." So, and then I remember like when the first Gulf War happened, I was all into that, trying to find out everything that was going on. So I've
Yeah.
always been interested in world history and world events and current events. So
Yeah.
this stuff we're
Indeed.
living through right now is 10 times bigger than anything we've ever seen. I mean, people do not understand what is really going on behind the scenes and things that have led up to the way they have. And it's kind of funny because over on X, all I've
Mm-hmm.
seen on X this week is some type of post that says, "To our conspiracy theorist friends, we are
Yeah.
sorry."
Yeah. Yeah. I see it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I gotta tell you a funny story, because for me, it's weird because I was so like really heavy with that in movies. But when I was going to like, I didn't go to school, I was homeschooled. So the textbooks that I had, and it's crazy because you know how like JW families are like, no TV, no magic, no this, no that, you know, like they isolate you. So my books, the textbooks, is like the new indoctrination because they're giving these books to all these kids and they're teaching it as fact. You know, like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, MLK, you know, all these people that are supposedly supposed to be like figures in American history and everything. And you find out that all of it's fake. But I'm not going to even go into that.
I mean, you look at the parallel there, and okay, so yeah, everybody knows, you know, most people that watch us knows we came from Watchtower. So Watchtower has printed all this material solely for the purpose of indoctrinating their people.
Right.
And they're told, and then they're told not to go outside and look at outside information. So let's rewind the clock back to the 1920s, back to when Rockefeller took over the public school system and said, you know what? Maybe we're going to take over the books too. And so they take over all the school books so that their ideology and propaganda can be taught to everybody.
Right. And that was a whole different generation of people that believed in things that now they want to say is a conspiracy theory. Because who took over the books nowadays? It was Maxine's father, come to find out. He was printing all these textbooks and teaching a generation of people an entirely different thing.
Yep.
What is that? And what, 50 years from now, we're going to say, oh, what you learned in 2020, whatever, is a conspiracy theory. That's not real. Like, what?
Yeah, well, I got to, you know, we look back and we're like, yeah, moon landing was fake. We look back at all this other stuff and be like, yeah, the Challenger thing, yeah, that didn't happen. 9/11 didn't happen the way it has. But the thing with the 20s of the 2020s is, they try to sell it as something that was real, kind of like they did with, but everything was a hoax. Everything was fake.
Everything.
And people are going to know that. And people are going to know that because think about it. How many people do you have, kids-wise, that have come out of the public school system? And those kids, they're not going to be indoctrinated with the public school stuff. Yeah. They're learning from their parents. They're learning from
real world experience.
Yeah.
My kids are doing that.
Their view on things are going to be so much more different than the kids that are going to school right now.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I homeschooled mine, and like 95% of my whole parish, all of those kids are homeschooled. So everybody doesn't go to public school. Like, at least in my community that I associate with, literally everybody homeschools. And it's a completely group of kids that are different than public school kids that are fighting and cursing and, you know, doing all you know, crazy stuff.
Let's just say if things don't come out and go public, then what we're going to have 20 years from now are those same kids and the same kids that were indoctrinated with the school. Yeah, COVID was real. It really happened.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then you're going to have the ones that were homeschooled being like, nah, y'all, that didn't happen that way.
No, and they're going to remember those time periods very differently because the parents were either oppressive or they promoted freedom. Like in my household, I was telling my kids, you're not going to wear a mask. You're not going to do X, Y, and Z. But then other parents were like, you better put that mask on. And, you know, it's like the way you explain things to your kids are completely different. So I was promoting freedom. And I tell them all the time, like, when you grow up, you need to learn how to do this, you know, do that. You know, it's like we're teaching very different things. And it does feel like two different worlds that we're living in.
Yeah, that's why I talked about the two different timelines. But there's got to be a point to where we unite and we're on one timeline. So
that's going to be very hard.
Yeah. Well, I believe it's going to happen, and I do believe the children are going to be what does it. I do
Yeah.
believe that, because we can't continue the cycle that I just illustrated. 20 years from now, some kids talking about certain things in 2020 being for real, and the other kids saying, "No, that was bull crap." We
Yeah.
got to end that cycle. We got to get the real truth out there. It's got to be out there, so everybody's on the same
Right.
page with it.
Right. So when I was doing my homeschooling, I gotta just tell you guys this quick funny story. My history books, okay, mine were teaching me that during slavery, that after Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, that there was a provision made for the slaves to go back to Africa. And even though that option was available, the slaves decided to stay, that they didn't want to go back to Africa because there was
Oh,
nothing,
really?
yeah. So that was revealing. Like, I was like, wow. So they could have gone, but they didn't want to go because they were born and raised in America. So, they don't have any connection to the homeland, basically. Like, the culture is gone,
Right.
like basically saying that they were Americanized. So even though that provision was made, the slaves decided to stay and just be free men, I guess, something like that.
Where did you hear that at?
That was my homeschooling textbook for history.
Really? Really? Okay.
Yes. And you know what happened? So me and my husband were having a conversation one day, and it was about slavery, and we were going back and forth on it. And I was like, no, they wanted to stay because they didn't want to go back to Africa.
Wow.
And he literally started laughing at me, and I was like, what? It's true. So it's like I'm spitting these facts. It's because I learned this in my high school textbooks. And that's what made the argument, like, we just started dying laughing because I said that. And I was like, I didn't get it, So that's what made me research into history, politics, and because I didn't want to sound stupid saying something like that. But these people they don't know that they're going through the exact same thing when they say stupid stuff, and everybody's like, what? Or like, do you really believe that? Are you insane? And that's exactly what happened to me. I was defending that the slaves wanted to stay.
Huh.
And
I did not know that there was a provision made for them to go back to Africa if they wanted to go.
Yeah. They're like something to the effect of there was an option for them to go back home to where they came from, and they declined it. That's what my textbook said. And I was spewing that misinformation for, when like in 2016, 2017, I graduated. And I was saying that then.
I'm looking this up right now. Go back to Africa. Set forth.
You're gonna look it up?
I gotta check and see what Google says. Google probably won't say anything, but let's just see. Okay. Yes, Abraham Lincoln supported a voluntary colonization policy to send freed slaves to Africa, specifically Liberia or the Caribbean, as part of his early views on resolving slavery. Promoting this idea from the 1840s through 1862, he believed separation was necessary, urging Black leaders to immigrate, and secured federal funding in 1862. Congressional support. Congress passed measures at his behest, including $100,000 to resettled freed slaves in the District of Columbia and $500,000 to colonized slaves confiscated from disloyal masters.
Yeah, but my book was saying they didn't want to go back, that they were declining to go back.
Yeah, it says while Liberia was the primary African destination, the New York Times mentions Panama and Central America as options. In 1863, Lincoln contracted to send 500 freed people to La Viche, Haiti. So at least, there was something. I did not know about that.
Yeah. And I learned that in my textbook. Just a quick hello. Hi, Leonard.
Hi.
StreamYard.
How are you doing? How are you both doing this evening?
Doing good.
doing
Did you
good,
see
buddy.
my message that I had for you, Leonard, in the chat?
I didn't.
Okay, so I right before we went live, I wrote in the chat that if you had your notes ready by like 11 o'clock, or depending on how the stream went, we can dedicate a few minutes just to you and your topic that you wanted to talk about last time.
Oh, sure. Let me get them. Just hang on while I get them for a minute.
Yeah, okay. Just have them handy, because at 11, I'm gonna deep dive into whatever you got. 'Cause it's 10 o'clock right
Okay.
now. So we'll just like
It's
have
10 o'clock.
one more hour just for Jimmy to do his thing, and then he's gonna hop off, and you can stay on with me. Is that good?
Okay. That's
Okay,
good.
Or I tell you what, Ruby, if you want to do this, we can let's see if the chat has any questions for the subjects we've gone over this evening.
Okay.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, I was going to jump off early tonight because I've
Yep.
got a breakfast meeting at 8:30 in the morning, and it's about a 45-minute drive. That same 45 minutes I've been chasing. 45-minute drive, and so I need to get to bed a little earlier tonight. So I was going to jump off around 11.
Whoa. Okay. Quick. I got a question in a text message. Ooh. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
gonna give my question right now. I did have 2 comments starred, but I'm gonna give my text message priority because this is a first. I got a text.
Okay.
All right, guys. So this is from Quinn Wright from
Oh, yeah.
YouTube. He says that thing about giving slaves the option to go back to Africa is not real. It's part of the Mandela effect. There's many things
Really?
of history they have changed, and now gaslighting and saying it's always been that way. Trust me, the slaves never had an option of going back to history. It's part of the Mandela effect. Yo, that
Oh,
is
wow.
crazy. And I love Quinn. So Quinn, if you're watching right now, you got to bring me some receipts. Send me an email, or we could make a video about something. Has to be done, because I remember that being said in my textbook. Jimmy just looked it up, and the internet said it too. And you see what I'm talking about? There's always going to be people out there saying it's misinformation, just like my husband laughed in my face when I said that was real. And
Well,
he started laughing.
The only problem I have with the statement that we saw it on the internet is, speaking of the Mandela effect, they try to say that what's his name, Sinbad, the actor, wasn't in a movie named Shazam, and I remember distinctly that he was. I also remember the Fruit of the Loom logo when I was younger.
Yes,
It had the
yes.
cornucopia. But now the internet will say, "Oh, that never happened."
Yeah,
but yeah, it did.
I remember.
That's the only reason why I know what a cornucopia is.
Right. No, but could it not just be like a simple explanation that they just changed their logo? That is not just a Mandela effect, that they just rebranded or something.
They just literally try to say that thing did not exist. When I know.
Okay, so that's what it is. Is that they're claiming that it never existed, even though it did. It's like they're gaslighting us. That's what it is, right? Okay,
so that's why I appreciate Quinn saying that, because now you have 2 opposing views. Now you can take that and go research it and see what you find for yourself.
Right. Okay, that's homework.
I just never heard about that. So
yeah,
that's why.
Now you do. I want to give a quick hello to Gail. She just joined the stage, but there's 2 comments / questions really quickly for Jimmy, because he's gonna hop off early.
Oh, I wanted him to stay on for this.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Gigi.
Are you going to talk about the Zora Ranch tonight? Oh no, next week.
Yeah, I don't have anything on the Zora Ranch.
I do.
Epstein's Zora Ranch.
I have.
Yeah, if you got something, definitely bring it up.
Okay, I got plenty about the Zorro Ranch. It was bought by Don Huffiness, bought the Zorro Ranch. At first, he wouldn't allow the FBI to come on the property, but now they got a judge order. They're going to go on the property and start digging. They're
Really?
They're looking for
good.
two 10-year-old girls who were brutally murdered during a horrible sex act. And I guess he owned some property down the road. That's what he was wanted all that acid for, so he could destroy. So I also did some digging. And they had a former CIA agent who was killed shortly after he come out and gave this story back in 2020. Now, in 2020, all this came out. I watched a whole video about his driver who said he was going to opt himself after he gave the video. He sent it to the CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, and he talked about all the horrors he witnessed when he was the driver for Epstein. And you can look at, where did I put him?
Is he alive though, or
We don't know. It was an anonymous email, but it sounded credible what he had to say, because he obviously was right there with Epstein. And then if you want to see this, it's on Trad Moore Ross. He has the video of the driver, and it was taken on July 1st, 2020. Now, I watched that, and everybody thought I was nuts. They thought I was a conspiracy theorist, and they didn't believe me. So I said, well, watch the video and look for yourself. And also in 2019, I don't know, these girls that were on the Zorro Ranch, they claimed that they were killing children. And where they were getting the children from was they were marketing. There was a breeding farm or ranch, whatever you want to call it, where they were breeding all these babies. So they didn't have any birth certificates or no documents. So they could murder these children and no one would know who they were. And that to me is so disgusting. Well, anyway, this the CIA agent brought all this up, and he said that the children had no documentation. It wasn't just here, and it wasn't just overseas. They were harvesting body parts, and it was easier to kill the children without any birth certificates. And why is no one reporting these children missing? Nobody cared. He just reported it. Nobody did anything about it. They didn't do anything about the Zorro Ranch in 2019 when it was brought to, I don't know whose attention it was brought to. And you know what? These girls that are coming forward now, and please, nobody think I am against these girls. I'm not. Some of these girls were with Epstein for 10 years, and they even helped in making whatever they made with. They were part of it. So, now they're all coming out. Where were they in 2020 when all this was brought up? Nobody seemed to, everyone was clueless. And here's where the conspiracy theorists come in, like Jimmy and you and the rest of the gang.
Hang on a second, Gigi. I just had a thought.
Go ahead.
So, is it possible? Okay, all right. First off, let me preface this with, my heart goes out to any victim that truly has been abused. Somebody put on a comment that said, oh, this isn't a laughing matter. No, it's not a laughing matter. And for you to ever think that this show is going to make fun of victims, you're an idiot. Because we don't do that. But so anyway, my thought, from what you said, that some of these girls, they worked with these. Some of them were lieutenants of his. Some of these, they were in on it. You have Sarah Kellen and a few others, and it seems to me that they would have tried to protect him any way they could, kind of like with the Nexium sex cult. Those women fought for that guy.
Yes.
So is it possible that some of these people that we see coming out in the media now claiming to be Epstein victims are these women that were protecting him along the way?
And some they say aren't real. They said they're plants. Now I watched.
That actually tracks. That would actually track.
Yep.
Now you know who Chris Hansen is, right? The guy who does To Catch a Predator. He interviewed a girl named Julian. She's a beautiful model from Africa, and she was involved with Epstein. He picked her up when she was a teenager, and she's actually writing a book right now, and she cried and cried and cried, and listening to her story, you got to look up Chris Hansen. Her name is Julian, and she was a beautiful model. And she said she was frightened for her life and she met Chris Rock, Bill Clinton, a whole bunch of other people, because Epstein told her she could be a Victoria's Secret model. She said she never met Wexner and all the times she was there, but she was talking about, she's been to the Zorro Ranch. They did something to her. She woke up. She has no idea what they did to her, but she did verify what was going on in the Zorro Ranch. So, and I was listening to a forensic anthropologist. They said that they don't know if they'll find bodies when they dig up. They said there'll probably be nothing but bones, but they're gonna have a hard time because if some of these girls come from overseas, they're gonna have to get, DNA reports. If there's still hair attached to some of the bodies, that they've got a lot of sorting out to do with all this stuff. And we're not going to hear the end of this, I guess.
Another thing to think about too is, I mean, if they were harvesting babies, you have a girl that gets pregnant, has a baby in captivity. No one knows about this baby. No one.
No.
Right.
So they could have kept these baby farming and like Chris Cornell said, they're farming babies.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're farming babies. So we would never know what was going on. These kids would have never been exposed to, a hospital or social security number or anything like that.
No
Right.
DNA to know
there's no
what their
trail.
blood is or nothing, right?
It's
I mean,
so sad, isn't it?
that's straight up evil.
It is.
What's
It's horrifying. It really is hard.
Well, hold on, Gigi, because you know what? I don't think it's gonna be hard at all. Because
I said horrifying.
no, yeah, I mean hard
You know,
about
they-
sorting the DNA about those overseas women. I don't think it's gonna be
No.
hard at all. And
Oh,
I
you
think
don't?
I don't, because remember in 2020 when they were swabbing everybody for the COVID stuff? I think it's
you're
gonna
right.
be very easy. I think it's gonna be very easy.
Well, how
to
do you know
use
they swab these
technology.
kids? I doubt they swab these kids.
You
I
could
doubt
find it from relatives, just like 2020 that ancestry thingy. They could find relatives even if you're a cousin of as long as your DNA is in the system, they could track it to your closest relative. And I think they could use the COVID swabs to find people even faster if they want to.
Well, they're
You
specifically
heard
looking for those two little 10-year-old girls. I don't know who they are, but that's who they're really focusing on the search for, is these two little 10-year-olds. It's just
so there's one thing I was telling Ruby about that I wanted to. Gigi, were you pretty much finished with?
yes, I am. Okay.
Okay.
I was going to ask you can talk about the transgenders, the shooting that just happened in.
No, I ain't even talking about that tonight. I saw that last night and I was like, oh God, here we go again.
I'm
I
gonna
haven't
have to
even.
look it up.
We can talk about it next week.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I haven't even looked at it. But yeah, the whole two things. First thing, the 23andMe, the all those ancestry things, those things were not meant to do what they said they were going to do. They were looking for a certain DNA.
Okay.
That was all backed by the deep state. So the second thing I want to do, let me share my screen, because I was telling Ruby earlier that with all this Epstein stuff coming out, everybody thinks it's all about human trafficking, child trafficking, murder, torture, satanic
It's
rituals,
not.
which yes, it is,
It's more than that.
but there's another level. So let
Right.
me share my screen.
But the white hats can use that. They can use the same technology that they did to us in COVID and the 23andMe, and they can reverse this whole thing and track people down.
Oh yeah, people can get tracked down. Yeah, that's not an issue.
Let's do it. Like, what are we waiting for?
So, all right, so let me share this,
Thank you.
and let me go.
Some
to
fun emails in the Epstein that's serious. Oh, nothing that serious. I just found some emails in the Epstein files where they talk about studying and experimenting viruses, hijacking our nervous systems in order to make us ill forever and then profit off of us.
Wow.
The dangerous version is engineering them to create toxins. Where are you? Did you come to Florida? Let's start. I have a ton of ideas. Richard Axel is also coming. So we will be able to attack consciousness from spiritual, mathematical, and biological perspectives. So whatever project they're working on here, someone says notation for biology is an awesome idea. And then they say, I will fund it as a separate project if it has legs. So basically, if it has potential to make the money, they will fund it. cell membrane, living, pre-living virus. It needs grammar like a programming language, infection, infected cell, infected host, parasite functions, growth, decay, maybe things to be learned from ecological system math. Okay, so the next few emails I'm going to read, it's between Jeffrey and some person. I don't know who it is, but I think it's a woman. And this person is really curious about wanting to know more about the vagus nerve, and obviously to like hijack our nervous systems. Like, if they're studying viruses and our nervous system, and when we have a virus and that virus is feeding on foods in our bodies and it's eliminating waste, it's called a neurotoxin. It releases, and when those neurotoxins are hitting our nerves, it causes all different symptoms. It's even more toxic than the virus itself. So I think that's why this person is like wanting to research the vagus nerve. But they say, yup, it is just the beginning. The vagus is the interface for the nervous - immune system, but so much more, lots to do. Just checking to say hi, help me think about how to test idea of vagus as storage area and passageway for pathogens. I just realized an even more compelling connection for Parkinson's too. Found some really amazing people. They all think about the role of bacteria invading. Vagus will end up being key since it's the only link between enteric and central nervous systems. No one is looking at viral stuff in Vegas, which is where I think the big news will be. And right in plain fucking sight, man. They're talking about these fucking illnesses and talking about what's actually causing them. Viruses, bacteria. They say ALS. It's like a bug entering through the enterics and goes to spine rather than the brain. You look up ALS on Google. I have my computer right here. Cause is not known. Environmental, genetic, yeah, and medical medium has been saying this forever. And then they go off and propose their ideas, right? Paul Greengard thinks my ideas about the Vegas are pretty cool, and he says that I should come to NYC and work in his lab, and he will help me figure it out, or at least get started. He says he wants in early on so that he can win his second Nobel. If I can figure out the finances, etc., I will see about starting a part-time posting at Rockefeller. Oh, there you go, baby. XOXO, peace and love.
And isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So not only were they doing all the other crap that they were doing, they were looking for ways to infect us and make us all sick. Ruby, your mic is muted.
Kate, what is it, KD? She says in the chats, the vagus nerve is a very important nerve.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to look this stuff up now. Now Epstein is gonna take me back to science class, because now I'm gonna have to look up all this stuff and try to understand what was going on. But you know what? I saw something like this too, that he was funding most of these things. I think it was his distribution of his will. He was giving like millions of dollars to these people, and it was like who's this guy, who's that guy, and why did they get hundreds of millions of dollars? And that's what starts to make you think he had a whole freaking lab and everything at that ranch. I think that Gigi mentioned. And listen, it's a whole rabbit hole in itself. If anybody wants to go down that rabbit hole, and you kind of know this stuff scientifically, please do, and come on the UPC on a Tuesday night, because that's a lot.
I like what Steen said. Dr. Mingle, eat your heart out. And he's right. Steen is right. You know who Dr. Mingle is?
Yeah, he was a Nazi doctor. Did experiments on twins.
Look him up. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he did a lot of experiments on twins, and he supposedly deflected to Argentina, I believe.
Yeah, allegedly.
Oh my gosh. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, somebody needs to go down that rabbit hole, and then,
Just a side note on him, down in Argentina, they had tons of twin animals. They said it was because of Mengele, but I don't know how true that is. But I watched a thing, they had twin cows and twin horses. I don't know how they can have twin cows, but that's what they were saying.
Oh my gosh.
The animals were all twins. And the whole community, they were raising twins. The people that were being born were a lot of twins there too. So
wow.
You can look up Mengele in Argentina with the twins.
Hey guys, I got another text. Yo, I'm gonna have to do like a little like skit of whenever I get a text because now Quinn is texting me again.
Oh, I love Quinn. Tell him I said hello. Quinn's a nice guy.
Yeah, well, if he might be watching, so you can say hi, Quinn.
Hi, Quinn.
Okay, so he said the vagus nerve is where they plugged you into the matrix in the movie. It's where the back of the neck meets the head. Oh, that's why he said spiritually in that email, because I guess oh my gosh, we're gonna this is homework. Write that down. The Vegas
science class.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. No, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. It's like, oh my god, this is what makes me scared of the real world. Yo, for real. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's so much, and it's just really, really, for the average American, and hell, your average person in the world, this just all this stuff is so overwhelming that it's just hard to believe that it's happening.
Yeah,
and that's why there's
yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jimmy. Sorry.
Jimmy.
It's just there's so much. Jimmy, this is so hard to follow. A secret military in control fighting evil or good seems easier to understand. The world run by rich, elite, powerful, and they are greedy sons of bitches. Of bitches.
Yeah.
I understand, JG, how it's hard for me to explain it, because when I started looking at all this stuff and started learning it, I had to go dig and find out, okay, what's actually being said? You know, is there proof for this? What are the connections? What are the patterns?
Right.
And it's really hard to explain it to folks now because they're just waking up to stuff. And the only thing that I can say is go check out some of the videos. One that's really good, and we've played it before here on the UPC, The Plan to Save the World by Joe.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. PSA to everybody. I re-released all of season 1 and season 2. So if you want to go watch that movie screening, whatever that Jimmy just mentioned, you can go on my live tab section on YouTube whenever it works again. I don't know if it's working or not, but I just changed the thumbnails and everything. But the old episodes, all of them are back online, so you can go watch season 1 and season 2.
But it's just really I mean, you can't. What's the best way to explain this? I can't tell you how to build this house. I mean, I can build it, but I can't tell you how to build it if you don't know anything about building.
Right.
Is that making any sense? I can't. I'm trying to find a good way to explain this. Or just, I don't know. You know, give me a sec. Let me think about a way to explain this. It's just hard to. You had to be following the whole thing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a little difficult. So we have to take each thing one. I know I'm totally butchering this part, and I'm sorry, y'all, but it's really hard to explain.
Yeah, but I get what you're trying to say, because it's like you could show it to us, but you can't force us to open our eyes. It's just like you can't wake somebody up from a cult. They have to do it. Like you have to question yourself. You got to wake up yourself. Nobody can force you to kind of open your eyes to that timeline that Jimmy talks about, or these theories about certain things. You just gotta look at it. Look at it yourself.
And you're right, Ruby. You know, if you look at the cult of Watchtower, you know, we all knew in 2020, 2018, and some even before that the Watchtower was evil and what they were doing. Let's just say they were hiding the abuse thing of the Australian Royal Commission. You tell a Jehovah's Witness that, and they're going to think you're freaking crazy. So it's the same thing for us in 2020 when we're trying to say, hey, there's secret military operations going on. This is happening. This is happening. The law of war manual is being used, and people are going to look at you and be like, do what? You know, and if the people don't look into that stuff, then they're never going to figure it out. And that's why the things that come out now have to be so extreme and so in your face that you're forced to open your eyes and start looking and digging at stuff and trying to start figuring out what the patterns are. So
Right.
there we go.
Which is why I mentioned that I should have knew that about myself. Like I didn't even know that because of the movies that I was watching. I was so interested in these movies that should have gave me a clue into myself that I'm kind of awake, but I didn't know I was awake. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
you have to really investigate that. And once I found out, oh snap. And then we make these references to the Matrix, to the National Treasure, to all these different types of movies. It's like they're telling you right in front of your face, but you don't see it because you're eating popcorn at the movie theater, having a great time and thinking it's just a movie. And who knows, it could be 100% true and you don't know it, but they're telling it to you right there. That's what we're trying to say is like, rewatch all those movies and you'll start seeing all the propaganda, all the underlying truths, and all the lies that they're trying to give you at the exact same time. Because I believe like all of those Holocaust movies, that's just propaganda for the other side.
Yep.
So it's like when you're watching those movies, they're pulling at all your heartstrings, trying to get you all emotional, but that's their propaganda so that you can believe in their Holocaust. That's all it is.
Yep. Let's see, Jimmy, you need to start calling it the Witch Tower. Oh,
yeah, that's Dallas. Dallas is Dallas' term.
Yeah, Dallas. Witch Tower. But there's a lot going on, folks. A whole lot.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I tell you what,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna jump off my computer, and let's see, my phone's got 100%, and then I'm gonna go outside, chill.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump back on here through my phone, and I'll just finish up out here, and that way I can get off here about 11 or so, and then that way Leonard can go ahead and talk about his stuff, and I can hear.
Yes, Leonard, I'm ready for you. What you got?
All right, I'll be back in a second.
Okay. See you soon.
Jimmy.
He's coming back.
Yeah, and he'll be in the chat too. So he just has to go to sleep early tonight. So I said, you know what? Go right ahead because I got Leonard. So hopefully I can handle whatever you got. So let me see what you got. Give me some clues. What do you got?
Well, I have the Constitution of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I've written down all 10 of the Bill of Rights.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know what Gail and Ruby, and of course the chat, I want to know what you all have to say or comment about. And the First Amendment is, and it reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an established religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abrogating, I hope I said that right, the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for the readiness of grievances.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is about that when they say, well, I just let Ruby and Gigi go first because I believe in ladies first. So
okay, Gail, do you have any opinion about that? The first one
about freedom of religion. Yeah, I'm glad it was one of the Constitution declarations, but a lot of religions don't follow that, especially the Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't follow that. They think that their religion is the only one you should follow, and you don't have the right to think out of the box with them. So, no, I'm in favor of religious freedom for all, no matter what race or religion you are.
Right.
That's just my take.
Okay. Anybody in the chat, let me know if you have any comments about that. Jane says, I think the First Amendment, freedom of religion. So Watchtower managing people in a fake church and shunning them. Exactly. So I would consider that a violation of the First Amendment. But these amendments are basically like, to the Constitution. So certain states wanted this to be done, or else they wouldn't sign, right? So I think that this was actually necessary because this is what they were kind of breaking away from in England, because they had a centralized religion, and if you didn't follow that religion, that they didn't have freedom to practice whatever religion they wanted. So that's why they wanted to write this here. Now, even though that's the case, it is my opinion that this was written with a Christian mindset, with a Christian nation. Like the people who came over here to colonize, they were Christian. So even though they wrote this as freedom of religion, that didn't mean freedom of religion to start practicing Satanism or Islam or any of those types of religions. I believe it to be different, maybe denominations of Christianity, because that's not the freedom that they had in England. Now that's my opinion on that about Christianity. I would not use this to start allowing religions that are not compatible with our world. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Constitution, you mean?
For the first 9 years of my life, I grew up Baptist, so I just had a small Baptist understanding, and until I started living with my great aunt, and she belongs to a church that teaches, preaches, and believes in the full gospel of the Bible, of the Word of God. And I want to go back. This particular church that my aunt belongs to, in its formation, in the beginning of it, people would call it, that's a cult. They this, they that, they believe this, they believe in that. And at that time, in the late 70s, early 80s, the biblical standpoint, the traditional understanding of the Word of God was a box figure, because they didn't believe in some of the things what this church believes in. So
I agree that's called heresies. So that's the freedom. That's the freedom that they didn't have in England. You couldn't practice because they would be considered heretics, and they would persecute you for that. So that's why when they came over here, they wanted that religious freedom to practice their heresies. To be honest with you, that's why I say that in the perspective of Christianity. In my opinion, that does not extend to religions that are not compatible with Western society. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. You cannot come over here and claim freedom of religion, but you have multiple wives, or you beat your wives, or you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't work here. So that is in reference to Christianity and those denominations that wanted freedom to practice heresy.
Right. And I remember when I was going to public school, I had made a statement about what I believe in. And my teacher said, "Oh, that's just what you believe. That's your belief." And I just didn't get into it because I just felt like, well, hey, it's no sense of pushing an issue, because just leave it where it is.
Yeah. Right. I agree. Oh, hold on, Leonard. There's another part to that where it says peaceably to assemble. And this is what Jimmy, we talked about this before about the ICE stuff. That is not protected. What they were doing was not protected under the First Amendment, because they were not peaceably assembling. They were obstructing. I just want to point that out so you can see the difference, that we do have the right to assemble peacefully and, give our grievances, whatever it is, to the government.
Yep.
That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be, in my opinion, we're not supposed to be protesting law enforcement. That doesn't make sense to me. We're supposed to be protesting at like the White House, like the government, the federal government, or your state government, because those are the people who could actually change laws, which is why you should be active in your state capitol, city hall, things of that nature. Not to be making a mess or a riot or every the George Floyd stuff. Like, that's unacceptable. So that's another important point.
Yeah, none of that is protected under the Constitution. You're allowed, like you said, to peacefully assemble. That does not include burning down businesses, killing people, obstructing justice. That's straight riot and insurrection. That's none of that is protected by the Constitution.
No.
So for these people to say, "Oh, it's our constitutional right to go do this," no, the hell it's not.
No.
You have to assemble peacefully. That's the word.
So, hey, look, y'all, it's Skitty.
Oh, isn't she cute?
It's
Skitty. The cat is here.
Is it a boy or a girl?
She's a girl.
Oh, she's cute.
She's my conspiracy cat.
The secrets.
Oh man. Okay,
So
Leonard. Let me
Leonard? What's the second one, Leonard?
Leonard, go ahead.
Amendment 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep.
And bear arms shall not be infringed.
Right. Oh, Lord. I forgot I looked up that.
You forgot one of the most important parts of that amendment.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Gail, do you wanna go first?
Yeah, I'll throw my 2 cents in. They're fighting left and right on Facebook about this. I know you don't want to talk about the trans shooting, and do you have the right to protect yourself?
It's relevant. Go ahead, talk about it.
So I think, we have a right to protect ourselves, but we don't have a right to go around shooting everybody.
Right.
No.
And I think a lot of people want to get rid of guns. That's a very controversial subject, I believe, today. I'm a gun owner, and I took a gun safety course, so I'm pro guns, but I'm not for, I think if someone has mental health issues, I think if a family member knows, I think they shouldn't be allowed around guns, period. And that's what the topic of conversation is going to be next week. It's going to continue to be, because that's the focus on what's going on. Why did this person have a handgun? And the same with the shooter in Canada. There was a mass transgender shooting in the state of Maine. And but this guy at the hockey rink, he had a gun. I guess he owned it. And, his family knew he was mentally ill. I think people should be held accountable too. If they know the person in your family has mental health issues, they should not own a gun, period.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if you're clinically, if you're clinically diagnosed as being mentally ill, no, I don't think you should have a gun, personally.
If a person is mentally challenged, that I believe, like Gail said, that I don't believe there's no way that this person should be able to carry any firearm weapon, because you don't know what that person's mindset is, because their mind can just click and everybody, 50, 60 people can be dead in no time. Now, me, my personal self, now if somebody is trying to harm me or trying to trespass into my home, then by all means, I'm gonna lay you out, and I'm gonna lay you down. Now, that's just all what there is to it.
I agree.
I think what people miss in this whole thing is they get so wrapped up in arguing about, this situation or whatever. But if you look at the amendment, where it says that they have to they can have a regulated militia.
Yeah.
We got to remember that this Declaration of Independence was written by the people to tell the government this is what we're going to be able to do. So our rights to have the right to carry or shall not be infringed to carry arms was a way for the American people to protect themselves against the government. So we take it a step further. We know that these people, the deep state, don't want us to have guns because they know an armed population is a threat to them. That's why there's been the push and playing on the heartstrings of the people with these stories to get people to be like, you know what? Yeah, maybe we should just get rid of all guns. And then who really wins in the end? The people that want to destroy the Constitution.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the bigger picture here. All these shootings, every time there's a mass shooting within 24 hours or earlier than that, there's an article or a news post put out saying, oh, maybe we should just go ahead and ban guns. It's their playbook. This is what they do. So where they have convinced these people to go out and riot on their behalf, they're trying to do the same thing with the gun situation. They're trying to win. They're trying to win people over to their side. But the problem is the people are waking up and they are going away from that side.
Right. Before I give my hot take, Dallas, what's your take on the Second Amendment?
Well, I'm pro Second Amendment.
Okay.
And
well, that sums it up nice.
My goal is to get my course, get my gun safety course, to get me.
Good for you, Dallas. Good.
I want to do it when I can. I just want. I think it's worth effort, and I do think that ones who have mental illness, I don't think should be owning one.
Okay. All right. So
In fact, when they're a criminal or mentally ill, to purchase for those who can't legally, that's a straw purchase, and that's a felony. It's federal crime right there.
Right.
A straw purchase, right? That's what it's called.
Right. Okay. I would agree with you about the criminal part, but I am going to give a hot take and disagree with the mental part, and I'll give you the reason why. And really quickly for JG, I'm going to reread the Second Amendment. It says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So there's a reason for that. It's for the necessity of the security of a free state. And that is supposed to be for the regulated militia, which means every single state should have a militia, and citizens should be signing up for that. And that's a whole other thing in itself.
Well, I agree on that.
Actually, the way I look at that, Ruby, is well-regulated militia. Well-regulated means trained.
Yes.
Right?
We should. Right.
That's
yes.
right.
But we don't. And I think we're looking at the word militia as a group of people,
Yes.
that they're the militia. But technically, that would mean every citizen. It's our duty. We are the militia. We don't have to be.
Right. Yes, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So a well-trained, it could say populace, a well-trained populace. That could be the case. So we are the militia. That's what the founders were saying.
But okay, so let's read that in the context of the time period that it was written. A well-regulated militia during that time would have been a lot of young men. The men should be in this well-regulated militia and protect their state. Kind of like I agree with King of Dots, like the National Guard, because it's like citizens of that particular state, and they are trained, etc. Right? But like Jimmy said, it should be every citizen, every young man should, in my opinion, should be taking this personally. So that's where I get about having everybody owning guns, right? But you see the infringed part, and this is why I'm going to disagree with the mental health issue, is because in my opinion, that would be an infringement, that just because somebody has a mental health issue, that you're taking away that right from them just because of the mental health issue. And you see how that was not stated here. It doesn't say, oh, except people with mental illnesses. Like, no, it should not be, not infringed should mean not infringed whatsoever. So that's my hot take, because in the state of Florida, we do have the red flag laws that somebody can report you and they will take your gun away if somebody reports that you have a suspected mental illness. And I think that is an infringement.
You got a valid argument there.
Well, you got, you're logical there. It shall not be infringed.
Well, don't forget when that Second Amendment was, they didn't have the mental illness we have today.
I think they did. Probably this wasn't.
They didn't. No.
I think they had mental asylums back then.
People, yeah,
they did. They did. A lot of mental health issues.
They didn't go around shooting up the neighborhood.
No.
That's a society thing. They had a better society. They had a higher trust society than we do. So regardless of the mental health issue,
they didn't have a high
responsible.
They didn't have a high percentage of mental illness. Look, I was in the mental health field for over 30 years. And we do have a problem with lunacy in this country.
We do.
Getting nuttier. Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned, they do credit checks. I don't know if every state does a credit check, but they do it here in Massachusetts. They should also do a screening test to test, are you normal? Well, not the word normal. Are you balanced enough to own a firearm?
Right.
I don't know how they're going to round up. If they ban guns, I don't know how they're going to round up the guns, because a lot of people I know have arsenals in their basements.
Exactly. It's impossible. You can't do it. You can't.
I don't know how they're going to, and I think they know that. They're not. And another thing is that they want you to register your guns, which I wouldn't do either, because then they have,
exactly.
They can,
what you're just
who owns a gun.
Exactly. What you're describing is those common sense gun laws. And sometimes that can go too far, which is why the Second Amendment just says it clearly in 2 sentences. That's it. Shall not be infringed. It is the responsibility of every citizen that, takes upon arms to have that responsibility. That's it. Do not infringe. Don't say, oh, well, you can't have it because of this or because of no. I am like so like pro freedom that it might sound a little crazy, but I am for the free. Like,
why does everybody have to have a gun? You got to ask yourself that question too. Why does everybody have to have a gun?
Well, just because you have the right to have one doesn't mean that you have to have one if you don't want to. That should be a personal choice.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Right. It doesn't say you have to.
The machine guns in the house. I mean, I know people who have all kinds of weapons, and I'm like,
of course, yeah, that's a big thing.
What are you expecting?
Well, that's the point. Is that is nobody's business. You have the freedom and the right in the United States of America to do that without the government telling you what you can or can't have. That's the point. Is the freedom aspect.
Well,
so
I'm going to
take.
tell you a story. As when I was a JW, they knew I had guns. I had a shotgun and a rifle. They came to me and told me that I needed to get rid of them. Like an idiot, I brought them to the police station and listened to them. Yeah, I gave up my guns at the time because they told me to. And they said Christians don't need guns. That was their...
And I think that might have been a territorial thing or a geographical thing, because in the congregation I was in, we had several hunters, and they had weapons, they had guns. Nothing was ever said to them about it.
Yeah, I was in Massachusetts, a liberal state.
Oh, well, there you go.
What?
But you know what? The elder I hung around with, he belonged to a gun club, and I used to go to the gun club with him. But then again, they told me to give my guns up, so I don't know.
I
Infringing.
want to say,
Yep.
I don't know if you all remember this or not, but this just came into my head. I remember over 20 something years ago the Columbine high school shooting.
Yes.
And I remember as a little kid just being so terrified of what I saw. It was just like myself having a gun. It was like, okay. I was just too afraid of being around a gun until it was like I really didn't want to be bothered with any.
Yeah.
Because
That's how they want you.
Yes, right.
Exactly.
And seeing these, I don't know if these two guys were mental or they were just being bullied in school or what. What was that?
MK Ultra.
Oh.
Right. And for me, my question is now, where did these two guys get these guns from? Did they go out and get them?
I don't know.
Did they find them in their parents' home somewhere? Or that's my whole question about it.
You just have to go back and look at the case and see what they said and where they came from.
And I loved watching all those I've seen every YouTube video about every shooting and every crime and murder. I like that stuff. And it all comes, I will agree, it does come down to mental health issues. I agree with that. The point is, you cannot make laws or amendments to fit the minority because it'll affect the majority. You see what I'm saying? So just because a few people are mentally ill and they do bad things doesn't mean that everybody else has to be on a, with a boot on our neck just because bad things happen. Like, no, we should be free.
Gigi is right. There's been a huge increase in mental issues over the last 30, 40 years. And, I think a lot of that has to go with, some of the stuff they put in our system.
I was just going to say the vaccination. You ain't seen nothing yet when they put the 5G on.
Yeah. So I think America doesn't have a gun problem. We have a mental health problem in America. Yeah. And until we can address that, get big pharma out of the situation. I mean, I know individuals that are on drugs for depression and things like that don't need it. They just go to the doctor, they tell their little story, and the doctor says, "Oh, well, I guess you need this drug."
Yeah.
And they get hooked on it, and then it starts affecting them mentally. So we got to get rid of big pharma. That's one of the main drivers in our mental health problem that we have.
Exactly. So
and another problem with the mental health, it's hard to get a therapist today. Some people have to wait months, which I'm dead set against. I think you should, if you're depressed and suicidal, you should be seen ASAP. If they don't have the manpower today. And it's a long waiting period to see a good therapist. So that's another problem. And then another problem with the society is it's a quick fix. Everybody wants to self-medicate because they can't deal with reality. I see that all the time. It's just, I don't know, something has to be done as a society with the drug problem. Because I went, for the first time in my life, I went to a dispensary. I bought some gummies to and one of the guys were great to me. And he told me that his wife was put on gabapentin, Klonopin, and something else. So what he's been doing is giving her the CBD gummies so she can wean off all the medication she's on. But he was right. And Jimmy's right. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to help you deal with your problems. Here, take a pill and goodbye. Come back.
No, that's just to keep their system going. Because it's like our healthcare situation. They're not looking to cure you of anything. They just want to give you enough to mask your symptoms so that you have to come back and get more. And as we're speaking about guns and stuff, my neighbors are shooting off some guns over here. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But
That's freedom right there. You're listening to the sound of freedom.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
sound of freedom.
Do you guys remember years ago they had to turn their guns in? For the state of Massachusetts, we had some problems, and they were asking everybody, especially the gang members, to turn their guns in.
Why?
Because of all the violence that was happening in
Yeah, they're
Boston.
just trying to collect them. I mean,
Yeah, so they made everybody turn their guns in, and they said they won't prosecute, they won't arrest you. Just show up and drop off all your hands.
you know what? And it's kind of. And you just look at the playbook, okay? So, hey, go ahead, turn your gun in, and we're going to give you $100. Okay.
Right.
Well,
That's
hold
a
on.
trick.
Let's go to fast forward or flashback to 2020 when what's his freaking name? The Nazi dude from what was that mayor's name? Oh my God, I see his face.
From New York,
The mayor of New York. Help me out here.
Blasio.
Huh? De Blasio, yes, De Blasio. Where he said,
Jehovah's Witness, by the way.
he said, come here and we'll give you a free burger and fries if you get the.
No, that was Cuomo. That was Cuomo.
Oh, come on, that was
No, I know De Blasio was actually sitting there eating a hamburger
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
and said, "Oh, this is good. Oh, man, you can have one of these too." And then
That's a trap.
and of course, hey, go ahead and get this thing, and we'll give you some free donuts. People jumped all over that crap.
Well, just to bring it back for you, Leonard, the Second Amendment, you see, once again, when you're looking at this kind of stuff, you have to remember that the time period that this was written, they were trying to do everything and anything to be the complete opposite of what they dealt with in England. Okay. In
Right.
England, they didn't have these rights. They didn't have the right to bear arms. The government took over. They were literally, persecuting people for these things. So when they came to America, they're writing these things so that they can have the type of freedom that they never had before.
A communist country in a basic nutshell.
And, I mean, it was worse. It's a monarchy. So they could
monarchy.
just kill people with just the king is the king. All right, he's the king. So these amendments, this is why I hold this like so sacred, like the 10 Commandments, is because these are the types of freedoms that gave us the name, like this is God's country. This is a nation that was literally like, how they say God-given rights and, God's country and all these country songs and stuff like that. It's because that's how important these freedoms are, because they didn't have these things over there. So I would value these just as much as I would value the commandments of the Bible. And this is why I am a Christian nationalist, is because I put my politics alongside the Bible. For me, it goes together, because these were Christian men who were writing these things for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I just want you to remember when you're going through this stuff. It is very deeply rooted in Christianity. And that's why our society today is so against this, is because we no longer have a Christian nation, but we have a Christian government. It's set up with Christian values for a nation that's not Christian anymore. That's why we're having issues in America right now. That's just my opinion.
Another thing to look at, talking about who really should have the power. Think about this. Who was trick question? Who was president when the Declaration of Independence was signed?
Washington.
Washington.
No.
What was Washington?
Who was it?
Jefferson.
No.
Dang, was it?
Well, George Washington was number one, wasn't it? Thomas Jefferson.
Adams, Monroe.
Nobody.
Oh, it was before the first president, was it?
Yes.
Wasn't he there?
So here's the point that I'm trying to make. The people wrote the Declaration of Independence to tell the government how they wanted to be represented.
You're right. I totally forgot about that. You're right.
Then the people had their militias to back up what they wanted the government to do.
Yes, and it was South Carolina who forced that.
And those militias eventually became our Army, our Navy, our Marines.
Yes.
So the military was protecting the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence before there was even a president.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yo, that makes so much sense now that you say it like that. Like, I didn't even think about it like that.
So I'm bringing it back to what I said earlier about the military protecting our Constitution right now, and we don't really have a president of the republic, technically. So that's what the comparison I was trying to make.
And Jimmy, I'm glad you brought up the Declaration of Independence, because my thing about it is, if the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776, how come it took almost 90 something years for the slaves to be completely free? How come it took so long for these bound and chained people to be free from what?
I think the easiest way to answer that is because it was a different time that we were living in, and plus the way, and granted, our forefathers, our founding fathers, they weren't perfect. They had their flaws. They had their mistakes. They had things that, we're not so proud. The history of the United States is not a clean history. So but the point being is, at that time, there was a lot of economic issues with slavery as well.
Yeah, so that's what it was. Yeah.
That tied into it. Doesn't make it right.
No.
Okay. And before anybody says anything, oh, America's awful because they had slavery. Every freaking nation throughout history, go all the way back to wherever you want to go to, there's always been slavery. But what they've done here in America is they've used that issue to divide the American people, to push the racism. I don't agree with it. I don't agree. And if you look at it, actually, there were more white. I saw a thing, and I'm not at my computer now and I can't pull it up, but I saw a thing where there was like more whites sold into slavery in Africa than there were black folks sold in Africa,
and that there was more black slave owners in America than there was white. And I didn't know that either. So that's you got to research that.
The first slave owner in the colonies was a black guy.
Right. He was the first one. Yeah. I saw that recently. I didn't know that. And I saw that very recently, and I have not dived into it, but that is very interesting.
So again, it's just another thing that they use to try to keep people divided.
Right. But you know what, Leonard? If you watch the documentary about Thomas Jefferson and his lover, I guess I forgot her name. She was one of his slaves.
Sally.
Yeah. Yes.
He took her everywhere.
Yeah, watch that documentary.
Yeah, he took her everywhere with him.
Because in that documentary, it describes how her influence on him about the whole slavery thing, because she was asking those exact questions to him. And I think these are in diaries and letters and stuff like that, that it finally was revealed years later that he was actually I guess sympathetic to the freeing of slaves, but even he knew that would never pass. So that's why they never even brought it up until later. But there is evidence that they kind of already knew that those things were wrong, but the states would never agree on it.
And the thing about Jefferson, I've visited Monticello many times. Seen his house where the slaves were, and they were he took very good care of the people that worked with him. I mean, the quarters that they had, they were hooked up.
Right.
They were taken care of. And I think that's because of the relationship he had with Sally. that he got really sympathetic, and he did everything he could to take care of his people.
And because he was rich, like he had money,
George
so of
Washington
course.
was the same. George
If I'm not
Washington was the same way. He asked his wife to free the slaves when he died, before he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if I'm not mistaken, I think they said that he had 16 or 17 children by Sally.
Wow.
I think it was 16 or 17 children.
I don't know. I only
Yeah.
know of a few. Like she had a few of them. And when he died, he put it in his will that they would be free. So he kind of you see, it's like you have to take it just with like it is what it is basically. Because even though he felt like that, that doesn't mean Congress was gonna pass that, because that was a booming business in the South. And that's
Right.
exactly what they were gonna fight. They were gonna fight for that.
yeah.
You know, that
I like
that was their money. That was business. You know.
Dehydrated Nurse put a comment in the comments about there was no slavery during the the colonist time, 1600s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do something.
glad,
I would like
I'm
to
glad-
find. Do what, Leonard?
I'm glad that person said something about the 1600s, because the next homework I'm going to do is going to be about the 13 colonies.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
Do it.
But
Yeah.
cool. That'd be good. But what I was going to say is I would like to find out, and I think it goes back to the guy that we just mentioned, the first slave owner in America. I think that was around like 1640, 1650. I'm not sure. I want to go look that up. So I want to go back and see exactly when it started, how it started, what connections did this slave owner had? Was he being funded by something else? You know, see, this is where my mind goes when I see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because during Jamestown and you know, wherever it was where the Pilgrims landed, Plymouth, there was no slavery. So when did it start, and who started it?
Well, Jane says it didn't happen until the 1700s, and it was in Virginia.
Did
See,
you know Bill Clinton?
I think it actually goes back somewhere to the mid 1600s. I'll double check this week, and I'll come back next week and see if I was right in my thing.
And when you do that research, do not ignore the Jewish element, okay? Because the Jews were the ones.
Why do you think I said I want to see who funded it?
Well, I just have to say that because a lot of people want to ignore the Jewish element. So
there is a huge Jewish element in slavery. I know that for a fact.
Exactly. So that's what we got to look into. We're looking at history with new glasses.
Well, while we're on the subject, did you know Bill Clinton has a black son?
Yep.
I didn't know that. No.
I know.
Allegedly.
Just like him. He looks just like him.
Has this been confirmed? The DNA test.
They.
Let's just say allegedly.
Hillary kicked him off the property. He went to see Bill. He wanted to meet Bill.
Yeah.
And Hillary threw him out. But they said that they destroyed the DNA. But he looks just like Bill.
He does look just like him.
Kid. He looks
no way. I'm gonna have to
pull it up.
He does look like him.
He's got two little kids. His last name's Williams, and he's a spit image of Bill, but he's black.
Yeah, he does look like him.
He does.
Okay, guys. So Leonard, I'm gonna have to stop at the second. You see how deep we got, and it was only the Second Amendment. You see how great these conversations are. So
yeah, there's no way to go through them all.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have you on next Tuesday. Join the show again, like around 10:30, 10:45, and we're gonna do the next two because it's a lot of information to get through. And this is exactly what I do every day. This is how I teach my kids. So the way I talk to you guys, that's what I do in homeschooling. I'm like, all right, everybody ready? We're gonna learn today. Yeah, and they get my version of U.S. history. Can you imagine? So this is great. This is very educational. This is great.
What's the third one? I guess we have to wait till next week.
Yeah, do your homework, guys. If anybody
I'm
wants to
gonna.
join the stage, we're up to Amendment 3 and 4. So next Tuesday we'll do 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good little thing to do.
Yeah, so people could join 10:30, 10:45, do a little research, form an opinion, and then come join the stage with us and Leonard. And Leonard could kind of like host, like he could lead it, like read it, and then we'll go around the panel just like we did tonight because this is really fun. Thank you so much, Leonard.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gigi, I want to say that I really love Massachusetts. If I was to go anywhere and live up north, that would be one of the states I would choose.
Well, it's not the same anymore. I grew up in Massachusetts, but we have a very liberal governor, and she's ruining the state.
Ah,
A lot of people are moving out of. I'm thinking of moving to Florida. I can't stand this.
oh,
Yeah.
I
My
love
daughter bought a
Florida.
house. My daughter bought a house in Venice.
No way.
Wow.
We're at in Venice.
Let me get my phone. Well, it's a condo they bought, so they
Okay.
got snowbirds. I'll tell you in 1 second.
You did? I would totally live the rest of my natural life in Florida.
It's,
Natural life.
it's Santa Maria and Venice.
Okay.
Nice.
Do you know where that is?
I think I do know where it's at. We usually stay on Nokomis Avenue when we go to.
Beautiful there.
Oh,
Right
it
on the
is.
Water.
Venice
I
is
can't wait to go.
Venice is great. Yeah, I can't wait to go back in November. So
So now I'm seriously thinking of going to Massachusetts. Sorry, Leonard. Massachusetts was wonderful, but I'll stick around for the 250th anniversary. I'm the 4th of July anyway.
We gotta do something special for the 250. What are you guys gonna do for the 250?
And I'll be 76 on 1776. I'll be 76 on the 4th of July.
Oh,
So
wow.
play that number.
Oh, wow.
You
Play
need to
that
throw a
number.
huge 76 party.
depending on how things go, I might go to DC on July 4th.
Yo. Why
Wow.
do we always have the same thoughts? Like we literally were talking about that, going to DC.
What? Well, Jimmy, you ain't gonna be too far from meeting my Uncle Jimmy.
Thank you, Dallas.
And
Yo,
I was born
DC.
1950, the 4th of July, 1950.
Yo, we should do if we have enough people to go, we should do like a little meetup. We should celebrate July
Oh,
4th.
that's what we did last time when we went on J6. That's what we did. I met up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 XJWs that were there.
Where'd you go?
That is awesome.
When we went to DC on January 6th.
Oh, okay.
well, that's nice. And I'm not I'm just more familiar with the suburbs or vicinity of Washington D.C. with relatives because
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Arlington, Virginia.
Yeah.
It's because my grandparents were long-time Arlington residents.
Nice. My
Wow.
grandfather, one of my grandfathers lived in Arlington. So
Leonard,
we
where
don't-
do you live?
I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I was born and raised.
Oh, a lot of people are moving to. My cousins are all moving down to North Carolina. I got 4 of them going down there.
yeah, we're getting too many Yankees down here.
My grandmother actually,
They're
when my
Italian
grandmother was
Yankees.
alive,
They're Italian Yankees.
when my grandmother was alive, she
Yeah.
lived in DC, and she lived 2 blocks away from the White House. Actually,
Wow.
when
That's
you
so
stepped out on her front porch and looked to the left, I believe, you could see the White House.
Wow,
That's cool.
that is cool.
That's cool. Are we about ready to wrap this up, Ruby?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
wrap it
yeah,
up. Thank
sorry.
you so
Yeah.
much for joining everybody. Leonard, Dallas,
Let us
Gigi,
see you next week,
Jimmy.
Leonard. Thank you.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
my do we want to do last thoughts real quick? Let's go.
Yeah,
around.
go ahead.
Dallas, any last thoughts tonight?
Well, I think that was great about the amendment, and I just love hearing. I love hearing from y'all, and just about that Second Amendment. Well, we can find something in common in certain areas, at least, even if it's small, and we can find something else with history as well to relate to history, which I've had the honor of even contributing some ideas to you, Ruby, about.
Aw, thank you, Dallas.
It was one about the one who campaigned about the George Wallace campaign for president.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that on your shows sometime.
All right. Thank you, Dallas.
All right, Leonard.
You all, I love and respect each and every one of you guys. You all are my family, and I really do mean that. If anybody has a problem with you all, they have a problem with me, and I mean that.
All right, Leonard.
Thank you, Leonard.
And I'm gonna say it just like this: if I don't have a problem telling somebody out either.
All right, Leonard.
All right, thank you, Leonard.
Y'all my family too.
Appreciate that, Dallas.
Oh,
Gigi?
thanks, Leonard. That was great. I love it.
That was great. Gigi?
For me, I just want to say thank you. I think I'm all talked out, but thank you for the show. Was great, and I'm going to do my homework next week.
I can't wait to beat up again next week.
Oh yeah. So what are we going to do? The third and fourth one?
Third and fourth.
Okay, I got to do my homework.
Yeah, like around 10:30, 10:45 is pretty good because we could go all night talking about that. So maybe we should do 2x2s and finish all of them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that opened up a lot of information. Thank you. So are you going to talk about the transgender stuff next week, Jimmy, or no?
Well, I mean, if you want to, do a part on that, bring it to the stage. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'd like to, because it's a moral issue, and it's becoming
definitely
a mental health issue with our country.
Oh yeah,
it's a patent too. It's a horrible patent, and
well, I will just say this: there are other countries outside of the United States that are listing transgenderism as a mental illness.
Good.
So there are other countries that are doing that. So if you're going to get mad at us for saying something like that, then maybe go look and see what these other countries are doing.
No. We don't care about that. We don't care about that here. Yeah. No, we don't care about that. Since day one, I've been saying stuff like this. So yes, we're going to talk about it. I don't care who gets offended.
Yeah, because I also want to add that people are now retransitioning back. A woman just won $2 million because she had a double mastectomy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very upset about it. And now she decides she wants to be a woman again. So she sued them. She won $2 million. But there's a lot of people besides herself that want retransitioning.
I mean, just look at how evil that is to be propagandized to the point to where you physically harm your natural body.
And they're going to say, oh, well, we didn't force you. You wanted to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the gaslighting. But it just shows the level of evil we're dealing with here. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I have seen more this week than I've seen here lately is people saying this is not a left versus right thing. This is a good versus evil thing.
Like my thumbnail.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that more this week than I've seen in a while. So that tells me that there is a shift happening right now. People are waking up. There are still those out there that will laugh at us, make fun of us, make videos about us. That's fine. That's your negativity. Live in it, dwell in it, whatever. But for folks like us and the ones that watch the show, we want to learn, we want to grow, we want to find out what the truth is about things. And that's all we're trying to do. And it's not like, somebody said, oh, Jimmy's trying to start a new cult. Fuck you, okay? Sorry. I mean, that's the least of it. I ain't got time to be a cult leader, okay?
Oh wait, Jimmy, I have a new sound. I put this sound in here for comments like that.
Stupid.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that I talked about. One of the Dallas. Jesus, Dallas, he got tickled. But one of the things I talked about in the Epstein file, Beyond the Breach, one of the things was not to react to these people, and that's going to be ever so more important as we move forward in this timeline, because a lot more is going to come out. I know I say that a lot, but hell, it keeps happening every time I say it. So that's why we really got to wrap our brains around what's really going on. Are we being manipulated? Are we being gaslit? What's the truth about things? Because it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. So that's all I got to say. Except the last thing I'll say is the intro or the outro that Ruby's going to play tonight is a song that I made up with the help of AI. Yes. And it's called it's called The Clock is Ticking.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a rock song, but listen to the lyrics tonight and tell me it's not describing what we're dealing with today. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for folks in the chat. And I love all you guys. Thank you. All right, I'm done.
Back at you. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody in the chat. And if anybody wants to donate to Jimmy's cult, please cash at me at New Yorker Rican on Cash App, right? Send any cult money donations to my Cash App.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I gotta share my screen. I'm definitely gonna keep that, and I'm running with that. Oh my god.
Jesus.
Okay,
that's
guys.
funny.
So
Love
let's
you guys.
listen to the outro song.
Thank you.
All right. Good night,
Night, y'all.
everybody.
Good night.
No, night, y'all.
You too.
Good night.
Years in the darkness, shouting at the wall. Whispers turn to thunder, but still they ignore it all. Facts laid bare before them, truth within their hand. Still they dig their shelters deep in the damn sand. Wake the hell up, the clock is ticking, can't deny what's coming fast. The shadows they keep pulling back, and everything will be exposed at last. No more hiding, no more turning away. The truth will demand its fucking day. They called us crazy, laughed at every word, but the silence is deafening. Now the message is finally heard. The world is shifting, can't go back to yesterday. Time to face the dawn and chasing those goddamn lies away. Wake the hell up, the clock is ticking, can't deny what's coming fast. The shadows they keep pulling back, and everything will be exposed at last. No more hiding, no more turning away. The truth will demand its fucking all we ever tried to do was break the silence and bring you to the light, to help you see the path that's paving and join us in the fight. The slumber's end is upon us, the awakening is clear, so wake up now before it is too late and face the fear. Wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. Wake the hell up, the clock is ticking, can't deny what's coming fast. The shadows, they keep pulling back, and everything will be exposed.